everyone, this is Anushka Maan and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to share a structured way for you to explain your work experience or your internship in a very impactful way to any interview. So if you have any internship or if you have work experience in your CV and the interviewer, they ask you, tell me about your work, tell me about this internship that you have done. So you need to give them an overall view, a holistic view of everything that was done in that internship or work experience, and that too in a span of 1 to 2 minutes. So here is the structure that you can follow that was given to me by one of my seniors here at SP, who is currently working in a leading FMCG company. And this structure helped me ace all the interviews that I had during placements and explain my summer internship, my experience regarding work in the interviews very impactfully. So to start off, first of all, you should mention briefly about the background of the project and what was the need of the project. Whatever project that you get, whether in an internship or during a work experience, it needs to have some relevance. You have to explain in a line or two where did that project stem from and what was the need of that project. Like for example, I was working on some project regarding area managers during my summer internship. So I would explain in a line or two what were the problems being faced and where did the need to understand and to execute such a project came into existence. So in the first 1 or 2 or 3 lines, you explain the background and the relevance or the need of the project. Next, moving on, what you're going to explain is the preliminary search that you did to gather information. Tell about all the stakeholders that you interacted with, all the sources of data that you referred to gather preliminary understanding or preliminary information about the project so that you can frame a strategy for yourself. Like for example, what I used to talk about was that I talked to the area managers or on the field or with the dealers or with the general managers and all those people to get an understanding of the working style of the area managers for my project and to get a better understanding of how they perform in their work. So essentially, mentioning all the stakeholders and sources of data that you used for the preliminary search. Next, you talk about the execution part. What is it that you recommended? And if it was a pilot project, what all were the things that you recommended and you actually executed? Talk about all those things, that these were the recommendations I made, or this was the strategy that I came up with, and this is how I executed it. So in a line of like 2-3 lines, talk about the entire execution part of your recommendations or your strategy. Then moving on to the next part of your answer, that is going to be the review part. Tell about what were the results of your recommendations or your execution. What was the review from the different stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, from your managers or from the people with whom you did the execution. Talk about the result and the review part of your project. And lastly, you talk about the risks and the mitigation. In risks and mitigation is a very important part for any interviewer to know. They want to understand, they want to know that you as a manager, did you have that attention to detail to identify what could be the possible risks in the way you implemented your strategy, and how did you go around mitigating those risks. So last part of your answer should have in a line or two about the risks that you had foreseen about this project and how did you go about mitigating those risks. So reiterating the structure, first of all, the background and the need of the project. Second, you talk about the stakeholders or the sources of data you used for gathering preliminary understanding of the project better. Next is your recommendations and execution part. What all is it that you strategized and what all did you and how did you execute it? Next is the results and the review part. What were the implications or the results of whatever you had strategized, and what was the review about the same from your managers or other stakeholders? And lastly, you talk about the risks that you had foreseen in this project and how did you go about mitigating those risks. So this is the basic structure that you can follow to actually present your answer in a very structured manner, and it gives a holistic view of your entire project to the interviewer. And again, as we follow in every other video so far in the series, I'm putting a link for Google form down below in the description. The first 3 people who fill out that form, they get their answers reviewed in a personal one-on-one session with me. That is going to help you formulate the right answer that is going to impress the interviewers. I'll help you structure your answer for the work experience or internship part properly. So the link is down in the description and also pinned in the comments. So the first 3 people get their answers reviewed absolutely for free by me. So see you in the next video and all the very best. Bye bye.